G'day guys, it's Adam here. Just had a fair bit of interest in my Projecta DCDC solar charger. I uploaded a video about 2 years ago of an issue I was having with the solar array or solar charging on it. I need to do an update on that because that unit was actually replaced under warranty, and the unit that they sent out and how I've set it up this time. So I'll quickly take you through the issues that I had to solve installing this in a removable canopy. Okay, so the first things I need to take you through is the issues that I need to solve. Being a removable canopy, I needed to source a source of negative power on both an outlet and a hard ground. So what I've done with that one is I've simply put a central bolt with a 50 amp cable going straight to the metal of the canopy, and I've also got a second negative coming in with the positive on straight from the battery in the front of the car. So I've got both a positive and a negative coming out of a switch in the front battery straight from the alternator. What I had to do was also include a solar and obviously line out. I'm saying it's quite a simple setup. Power from the outside comes through the canopy and out here, a simple connector here and a couple of other fittings. So that gets taken off here, which means it's got no ground, and I've got a charger from a different source. I'll have positive and negative going to the charger. Negative to both the chassis and the front of the car. From the front of the car, I've got negative and positive coming up into the first fuse, 50 amp resettable, into there, and obviously the negative also got into there. Just a little bit of extra protection. I've had fires in the car before from batteries, and I never want to have that happen again. I've also got it fused at the front of the car. Simple out, I've got all the outlets hooked up to the central negative, the ground, and from there I've got obviously the solar in and the batteries or power out. These are hooked into a outlet here where I've got a meter on there. You just look down, I've got a meter on there which measures amps in, amps out, obviously voltage left and amp hour remaining. Now this is where the limitations of the Projecta start. I've got this currently running two removable batteries. I've got both 120 amp hour batteries. One is the Thumper and an Arc Pack, both running gel batteries, so there shouldn't really be that much of an issue. But the issue with the Projecta is if there's any difference in the batteries, it won't charge. It will just say no. It's a little bit too hard to figure out. I'm going to protect the batteries by not allowing any power to them. Now I've also noticed it does do this if you've got an older battery. On the last battery I had before the fire, totally unrelated of course, it would charge for about 5 minutes and then stop. I think the issue was with that when it stopped, because we thought the battery was still charging, but it wasn't. The battery did run dead. It was under 11 volts, so technically that's dead. The Projecta will charge a battery by itself very well. It's one of the fastest chargers on the market, 25 amp charger. That's coming straight from the battery, from the alternator. It also does the solar and the alternator at the same time, like the $400 DCDC B, I think it is, from Red Arc. Just as good as that, but it has its limitations. It's not very forgiving back on the batteries. So that's the update on this battery charger. Limitations are it is very sensitive to resistance in your batteries. So if you do have any issues with your batteries, the Projecta will not charge them. I am having those issues with it at the moment. I do have to check that it's charging before I leave, and it starts charging, and then within a second it will stop charging, so you know pretty much straight away. It doesn't have an alarm outlet. It does have a charging outlet, which is this pink wire just up here. That's an external LED that you know that it's charging. Otherwise it's the top battery here. So that's my setup, guys. Recommendations, if you're going to run a Projecta DCDC solar charger, use the same batteries, run them in parallel. Power going into the far and out of the closest exit, positives and negatives. So I'll put up a couple of diagrams on the best way to set these up. Theoretically, this setup that I have here should work fine, minus the mix of batteries. That's the only issues it's having. If the batteries were the same, then there wouldn't be a problem, theoretically.